Simple days still bring me tears. Those were the days my soul recalls, when joy lit paths and friends still cold. Now then, those gleams in memory stays, I tend to wreck for youth's bright days.
Utopia by Thomas More. The traveler Raphael Hythloday stepped off the small Flemish vessel at Antwerp's quay, his salt-stiff cloak snapping in the river wind. He had sailed from a new world with Prince Vespucci's expedition and carried in his eyes a light that made Cardinal Morton's dinner guests lean forward. I, Thomas More, sat opposite him that evening in the candle-smoked hall. Peter Giles at my elbow, both of us hungry for news of lands beyond the maps. Raphael began with a shrug, as though the tale were no more than a sailor's yarn. England, Portugal, Rome. Every court is the same. Proud men in silk, counting other men's lives as coins. He spoke of thieves hanged in dozens, while the lords who enclosed the commons went unwhipped. Then, softly, he said, "But there's another place." He called it Utopia. We pressed him. He smiled, refilled his cup, and let the story unfold like a banner in still air. The island lies far south and east, shaped like a crescent moon 200 miles across. A deep harbor bites its center, so that every ship entering must pass beneath the guns of a single fortress. Once, King Utopia conquered the peninsula, cut a 15-mile channel in a single generation, and turned it into an island. The work was done by the conquered themselves. Utopists believe labor heals the pride of the defeated. 54 cities stand upon the island, none more than a day's walk from its neighbor. Amorat, the capital, sits at the heart of the crescent on the river Eneater, whose gentle tide never smells of mud. Its streets are 20 feet wide, its houses 3 stories high, each with a garden at the back. Every 10th year, the families change houses by lot, so that no one grows fond of walls or jealous of neighbor's plot. I asked about their government. Raphael laughed. They have almost none. Each year, 30 households choose a phylarch. 10 phylarchs choose a tranibor. The 200 tranibors meet in the Senate and elect a prince for life, unless he plots tyranny, in which case they depose him without blood. The prince may not own private treasure, nor keep a private kitchen. He eats in public like any citizen. Laws are few and printed in large letters on bronze tablets at every crossroads. No lawyer twists them. Any man may plead his own case. But how do they live without money? Peter Giles asked. They have none, Raphael said. Gold and silver are used for chamber pots and the chains of slaves. Jewels are children's toys. When ambassadors from other nations arrive glittering with pearls, the Utopians mistake the envoys for jesters and the pearls for baubles. Once, a foreign prince sent 3 ambassadors wearing purple and gold chains. The Utopians bowed low to the lackeys, thinking them the princes. All goods lie in public storehouses. Any citizen may go, show his household token, and take what he needs, cloth, grain, tools, without payment. Nothing is locked. Doors open by a simple latch that any passerby may lift. Theft is unknown, for why steal what is freely given? Each morning at 6 the citizens rise. Men and women dress alike in undyed wool or leather, the garment lasting 7 years. They walk to the fields or workshops. 6 hours of work suffice. The rest of the day is for study, music, or conversation in the public halls. Agriculture is compulsory for all. Every child spends 2 years on a farm, learning to plow and graft vines. City folk take turns returning to the countryside, so that no one forgets the earth that feeds them. At noon, they dine in common halls, 30 households to a table. The young serve the old. Children stand silently behind their parents, learning manners by watching. A reader recites history or moral philosophy during the meal. Meat is served twice a week. Fish and fruit fill the other days. The sick eat first and best, in separate hospitals outside the city, where 4 attend each patient. After dinner comes recreation, gardens, games of ball, or lectures in the colonnades. No dice, no cards, no idle gambling. They play 2 games of skill, one a contest of virtues against vices, the other a mimicry of battle where numbers and position matter more than strength. At 9, they go to bed. 8 hours of sleep are law. I asked about marriage. Raphael's eyes twinkled. Courtship is solemn. The bride and groom are shown naked to each other by a respectable matron or guardian, as one examines a horse before purchase. Deformity or disease must be known beforehand, for marriage lasts until death. Divorce is allowed only for adultery or intolerable cruelty, and then only by consent of the Senate. Adulterers become slaves. A second offense means death. Premarital intercourse brings lifelong celibacy. Yet they are not prudish. They believe pleasure is the purpose of life, provided it harms no one. They prize health, then the joys of mind and body. Music fills every house. They sing in 4 parts while working the fields. Peter Giles leaned forward. And war. They hate it, Raphael said. They fight only to defend their borders, liberate oppressed neighbors, or punish pirates. They hire mercenaries, Zapolitans, a brutal people who love slaughter, and pay them in gold, which the Utopians despise. If they must fight themselves, women stand beside men in the ranks, and children throw stones from the walls. They use cunning more than force. False retreats, poison wells, propaganda leaflets promising reward to assassins. Victory is celebrated not with triumph, but with shame that human folly required blood. Slavery exists, but not by birth. Criminals, prisoners of war, or foreigners condemned to home for crimes Utopia would punish lightly are bought and set to public works. Slaves wear golden chains as a mark of disgrace. Citizens would blush to be seen in gold. Slaves may earn freedom by good behavior. Many do. Religion is free. No one is persecuted for belief. They worship a single eternal being called Mitra, though some say parent of all, others the unknown. Priests are few, 13 in each city, and maybe women have widowed and past 50. Public temples have no images. Each man prays in his heart. Once a month all gather in the temple to hear a sermon on virtue and to confess publicly their faults. Atheists are not punished but pitted. They may not hold office, for they lack the bond of oath. Travel requires a passport from the prince and phylarch. The traveler must return by a set day. Absence without leave is punished first by slavery, then by death. Yet within the island, movement is free. Raphael described their science. Hospitals with mechanical beds that tilt to ease pain, incubators for eggs, telescopes to read the stars. They print books on paper, made from reeds. Their calendar follows the moon. They number years from the founding of Antwerp. And their end, I asked, when a man grows too ill to enjoy life, priests and magistrates visit him. They praise his past service and urge him to depart willingly. Euthanasia is honorable. The sick man feasts with friends, then drinks hemlock or is sealed in a chamber of sweet smoke. Refusal brings no shame. Care continues. Suicide without consent is dishonorable. The body is cast unburied into a ditch. Raphael paused. The candles had burned low. Outside, the Flemish night pressed against the windows. I said, "This is a perfect commonwealth." He shook his head. "It is a heathen commonwealth. They know not Christ, yet their lives shame ours. We hang thieves while nobles rob by law. We gorge while children starve. We call it policy." Peter Giles asked, "Would you live there?" Raphael looked into the fire. "I left because I am a Christian. I must preach where preaching is needed. But every night I dream of Amorot's gardens, and I wake ashamed of London's stench." He rose. The hall was empty save for us 3. At the door he turned. "Remember, friends, the island is real. The way is hard, the ocean wide, but the Crescent Harbor waits." Then he was gone, cloak swirling like a sail into the dark. I, Thomas More, sat long after, staring at the dying coals. Somewhere beyond the maps, 54 cities rose at dawn, their bronze laws gleaming, their people walking the fields in undyed wool, singing in 4 parts while the river Eneater carried their small boats to the common storehouses. And I wondered if any Christian prince would ever dare to follow King Utopia and cut the channel that severs pride from power.